lovely ladies, Christians, and crazy kids. Today I'm going to be talking to you about reusable menstrual cloths. During my last video, I briefly mentioned that I was trying them out and I got several requests from you all to share my experience with them. My experience has been nothing short of amazing, so I definitely wanted to share my thoughts with you all. This is a completely non-sponsored type of review, and this is me really just wanting to share the information because I feel like this is something that has changed the way I'm going to experience periods for the rest of my life, and I'm very excited about that. So let's just jump right into it. I am someone who has always had a very heavy flow. I've always had extremely painful periods since I started them, and I've noticed as I've gotten older they only become more painful and less bearable. When I was healthier and in better shape, I definitely didn't feel as much severity as I do each month. My flow was lighter, but you know, you get older, things change in your life, and unfortunately my period has intensified with that. So with that happening at the end of last year and the beginning of this year, I really just wanted to find some options that would help deal with the pain, address some of the discomfort I was feeling during my periods, and I immediately fell in love with menstrual cloths the moment I started using them. Initially, I was very hesitant because the idea of reusing menstrual products that are bloodied every single month doesn't sound like a good idea, but the more I started looking into them, the more I was completely fascinated with this. I have 4 different sets. I have, I'll just say small, medium, large, and extra large. I use these for the days where I'm using tampons or in the future reusable menstrual cups, since I had my first successful insertion last month. So these are just for those days, just as a little backup in case I'm doing any leaking at all. These small ones are for my lighter flow days, days 6 and 7, when I'm barely bleeding and just need something to cover me so that I'm not making messes in my underwear. The large ones are the ones I use probably most frequently. I use these on medium to heavy flow days and change them out every few hours. And then my favorite, honestly, are the bedtime ones. They are super duper long, super, wide. They always give me full coverage. I'm someone who sometimes wakes up and there's blood on my sheets or blood in my panties, and that's just one of the things you experience as a heavy bleeder. It's not disgusting. It doesn't mean you don't know how to take care of yourself. It just happens. So it's just one of those things. But after using these for the last few months, I am happy to report I have not had any leakage whatsoever. So that has been amazing for me. And to be honest, I've been wearing these sometimes on my heavy flow days just to make sure it's full coverage if I don't want to wear a tampon or something like that. So I love all of them. My favorite is probably the bedtime. If you're a first time buyer of them, I would recommend, if you have a heavy flow, getting a large set and an extra large set. If you're medium to heavy, you could probably do the same, and then if you're a pretty light flow, you honestly might just need smalls and mediums. But definitely when you go online, look into that. Just like there are options with standard menstrual pads, that's certainly the case with the menstrual cloths. So you want to make sure it has the absorbency that you need and the length that you would need for your periods. The wear time really ranges depending on your flow. I've heard some people change them out for really heavy flow days every 4 hours. I've heard other people wear them up to 8 hours. It really depends on your flow. I personally like to do around 5 hours. And I've put these really to the test. I've spent long work days without any tampons with one on. I've shot weddings using one and just changing them out, and I still have had no issues with them. Initially, I thought that they might be too bulky or show if I'm wearing leggings, and be uncomfortable if I'm wearing dresses. Some people have said that they kind of slip and slide on their underwear. I haven't had any of those issues. I haven't had any accidents for the time that I have been wearing these menstrual cloths so far. They're very easy to carry around. When I'm about to start or when I have started, I usually carry spares or just one in my purse to change out throughout the day or to put on throughout the day. They're really easy. All of them just kind of fold in and snap. So whether you're just storing them before you use them or whether you just wrapped it up and you want to kind of be discreet and wrap it up, You can just snap it together, and I store this in my purse. Really, the only downside I would say to the cloths are the wash process. There are tons that you can research on YouTube, and different people have different opinions on how you should wash and dry. I'm very basic with mine. I do a hand wash just to make sure there are no heavy stains in them. I put them in these storage bags that I have. These are for my clean ones, and this is for when I'm needing to store them before I wash them. So I have 2 of these. Just throw all the messy ones in here, zip it up, throw it in the washer. I dry on a really delicate low heat, and that's good. Some people don't like to put theirs in the dryer, but for me, it's like, girl, we done lasted a whole period, put all this effort into not cramping this stuff. The least I can do is put it in the dryer and I have to worry about that. So next to touch on is the price. I'm just gonna tell you, I bought a lot of these out of desperation. I'm very, very happy with the 4 sets that I had. But you know, the first time I was ordering them a couple days before my period, and the second time I was gonna just stick with the first set that I got, but I said, you know what, I really want to try out some bedtime ones and, you know, some small ones for those days I might be wearing a tampon. So I went ahead and got those set 2 days before I started period. So if you're not needing to make that quick investment, you might be able to find some for cheaper prices. As far as mine, I think mine range from like $15 to $22, which for some people is a bit pricey, but for me, I dish out tons of money every 2 months having to stock up on pads and tampons, so it's not that big a deal to me if I have to spend $20 on 6, you know, cloths that are gonna last me 6 days. In the long run, I just feel like I end up saving more money. So it is a little bit of an investment up front, but I think in the long term, because they are gonna last longer and you can reuse them, you are gonna save on money, especially if you fly through menstrual products like I do. A lot of reviews have mentioned that they've seen change in their periods. I read a lot of that online, and I can't completely say that that's as a result of my menstrual cloths, because I have been being more active. I've been changing up my diet a lot, especially around my period. I'm always chugging water and eating a lot of fruits and veggies just before I'm even gonna start to help with the pain. But I have noticed a change since I've been using them. My first period with them, it definitely helped with the comfort. That helped me be less tense and everything in general. It helped me get through that. But my last period, I mean, I had cramps for maybe 3-4 hours on my first day, and then after that I was literally just sleepy every day, but there was no pain, which is not a norm for me. It hasn't been since I haven't been as healthy as I once was 2-3 years ago. So that was amazing for me. I hope it's not just a random occurrence. I hope that these cloths are helping with that process, and I personally believe that they are. So the next step for me with this process is to completely transition into reusable menstrual cups. I tried them out and have been consistently. I wrote on my website, on my blog post, I'll link it down below, how my experience was, because I feel like I've read a lot of glamorous stories and seen a lot of glamorous reviews, but it is a bit tough. And I just had my first successful insertion after like 3 periods of trying. So that's a huge milestone for me. I'm very excited to continue trying with the menstrual cups, because I loved my first experience with it. I did. And I want to try different options so that I can bring that all to you. So I tried out the Lunette cup, and I'm going to be trying the Spoon cup, which is a more affordable option. So I'm very, very excited to post about those in the future and share more about me using reusable menstrual products in general. So if you have any questions or anything, if you have any experience with reusable menstrual products, please share them below. Your horror stories as well as your milestones, the great parts of it, how it's improved your life, and why you wouldn't try it again. I just kind of want us to have an open conversation about this. I feel like in our society, we're quick to talk about sex and things like that, but when it comes to things like our periods, we kind of shy away from talking about that openly. But I feel like it needs to be talked about, because it only helps our comfort with it. So yeah, share below. I look forward to reading your stories and your comments. If you have any requests, feel free to leave those below as well. With that said, I will see you lovely ladies, Christians, and crazy kids later. Thanks for watching. Kandee loves ya. Wow.